Good morning. Mm. Welcome back to our channel, Shared Space on YouTube. Mm. So, all I got for us today is an astrology report from Venus based on Venus's placement, because today's Friday, the day of Venus. Mm. So, um, well, first of all, let me tell you, Father's Day is coming up. So, to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. To all you mothers out there, uh, happy weekend with your kids. I know Mother's Day passed a little bit ago. Mm. And yeah, thank you for tuning in here. I don't expect much from this channel. It's just a way of sharing. It helps me voice the astrology readings and things that I do. I like to voice them, write them down, and speak them. But also, it helps me share with others who are interested, or it can be helpful to many people. Helped me throughout a lot of times of difficulties, just knowing the energies of each day, right? What you were going to deal with, how to prepare for your day, your week, your month. This way, you can avoid as much unnecessary, unwanted events as possible and enhance all the quality things in your life. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Let me put on the ring of Venus. All right, so today is 6/13 through 2025. Add that up, it equals 19. The Sun card, becoming enlightened. 1 plus 9 equals 10, the Wheel of Fortune. You're at a turning point in your life from this enlightenment. 1 plus 0 equals 1, the Magician card. You are now acting consciously aware. So enlightenment brings a turning point to your life so that you begin acting consciously aware, right? Consciously aware is understanding, knowledge and education to help you understand things, right? So let's be unconscious, acting unconsciously would be constantly dealing with challenging people and not understanding why and wanting to help them or fix them in some way, right? But what you don't understand, you're not consciously aware of, is the behavioral, emotional, and mental disorders that they're embodying or enabling or experiencing, right? So being consciously aware is like, oh, these people are experiencing behavioral health symptoms, emotional health symptoms, and possibly traumatic symptoms. So there's nothing you can do, being consciously aware of that, to fix it. So you don't try. You let the doctors do that, right? Or you let someone help them do that. It's not your job, right? And it falls right in line with Venus's message. Frojja's Day, Friday, Venus, harmonizing beauty, pleasure, poetry, psychology, sexuality, creativity, art, and manners. Manners are important. Are you polite? If you're not, don't expect politeness in return. Being polite says more about your inner state of well-being than it does about serving to others, right? I remember years ago, I had a bunch of roughneck friends, and I've always been a polite person. Open the door for people. Please and thank you. Respect to elders. Yada, yada, yada. You know, knuckleheads don't get that. I was just raised by a good mama. Venus embodies polite manners, good manners. Today, Venus is in Aries under Bharani Nakshatra. This is trining Pluto retro in Shravana, and Pluto is opposite Mercury in Ardra, but Venus is also trining Mercury in Ardra. Venus in Bharani is about transformation, fertility, and death, love, creativity, and relationships. Intense, passionate energy that challenges relationships due to emotional intensity. This energy is receiving a very easy flow of energy and support from Pluto. Pluto in retrograde in Shravana, which is sending the energy of being able to learn from these situations and connect by deeply understanding through a deep transformative process, right? So transformation is like this. You change your state of unconscious awareness, right? Becoming enlightened turns a point in your life to become consciously aware, right? That's a transformation. When you take the time to understand something, that's enlightenment, right? Now, wisdom and knowledge are always changing, so it doesn't mean it's the end-all be-all. It means you have just become enlightened of a new situation, and now you can act consciously aware in that situation. This process can offer healing or regeneration on a subconscious level, deeply implanted, programmed roots from influence, subconscious, unconscious, whatever. So what you think you know would be the conscious level. The subconscious would be the intermediate that goes down to the stored memory bank of the unconscious, where the unconscious would be all of the mass influence, persuasion, what's that called? Something's trying to not let me say this. Power of suggestion, subliminals, programmed behavior, unconscious. Subconscious goes down to the unconscious to bring to the conscious what is stored in the memory bank. You can regenerate your mind on an unconscious and subconscious level by becoming aware of things that you have been subliminally programmed to do. The ability to listen and understand others is the energy of today on very deep levels. And using this knowledge to express your thoughts and understanding in a constructive way, right? As you work with challenging relationships in your life, okay? So in a constructive way means not judging, not projecting, not trying to convince people to do what you want them to. Hey, this is what I see about this situation. And it's just a thought. It's just an interpretation, just an outside view to help if you're experiencing these challenging relationships in your life. Or, relationships is everything from the people you speak to on an everyday basis to your local grocer, friends, family, and all in between. So, this energy is directly in flow and in opposition of Mercury in Ardra, which is displaying emotionally charged communications in your life about intense topics and experiences. So, if you put all this together, this trine is bringing a deep inner standing and connection to people in your life that you love, but are very challenging to deal with due to their impulsive emotional intensity and their forms of communication. So take this day to explore these connections and navigate your connection to them with awareness, right? So it's a good day to understand your need for challenging relationships. How does these challenging influences in relationships in life impact your impulsive emotional intensity? And are you programmed to continue to change people who need professional help to go through and process what they're experiencing? So, with awareness, Venus today is using her wisdom characteristics in the planetary alignments. Now, see, when I speak about things in the sky right now, today, in current times, current energies, it can touch people very deeply because it brings the awareness of, okay, look, what you're experiencing today is actually a mirror image of the heavens, right? Energy above. If you want to understand energy of planets, imagine the planets all being in, let's just say water, right? Wavy water. A good little practice to understand energy is to get like PVC glue and a bowl of water, right? Drop a big glob of PVC glue in the center of the bowl and then put some drops around it. Once PVC glue interacts with the water, it swirls, right? And it creates energies. And that creates ripples in the water. And this is how planetary energy can influence your mind, the satellite or the projector. So, it's helpful to know how to interpret the stars and skies. It's not even that hard to do it. I mean, you can find a teacher, but it does help you navigate your life on better terms. Sometimes people won't understand this. It's like knowing the maze, right? And knowing when the doors of the labyrinth are going to open, right? And people are like, why aren't you, that door is not going to open yet, I'm sorry. And then knowing that door is going to open and then moving when people unaware don't understand why you're moving. So there's your astrology for today. Let me pull some cards and then we'll send you off, because I have things to do myself. All right. So, on the shuffle right now, there was energy of people grieving, mourning, sadness, Five of Cups. Then Six of Pentacles, and offering generosity in return to heal that sadness by putting the truth, Queen of Swords, truth out on the table. Oh, brings goodness. Okay. Okay, binding thoughts are at limbo. Sun card. Okay. Tower card. Eight of Swords in limbo. So, sudden enlightenment, right, has come and destroyed all the false beliefs, right? And now it is upon you to either allow these negative binding thoughts to release or let them boggle your mind some more. It's your own decision. What's happening is enlightenment. A true hit to the crown chakra to bring awareness, right? To light up this cavern and destroy the false. You know, it's built on this wrong tower. It's bound to fall. False information. Now you have the awareness of what you're dealing with today, and it's up to you to either continue staying stuck or get out of it. Because in the total, after a tower is destroyed, this is all that's left. Becoming enlightened. And what I say about enlightenment, it means you learn something true. You learn something true where before you were fed bullshit. That bullshit kept you in limbo between your thoughts. Now some awareness has brought in positivity in your life. And you can go and teach this. Share it with friends. You can actually see each other on deeper levels. And allow, let's say these are the fear spreaders here. Allow them to run out of the picture. Nobody cares about them anymore. What comes after a tower is always Four of Wands, because it's setting a new foundation. Setting a new foundation to build on, right? Tower's destroyed. You gotta start over with a solid cornerstone and community of like-minded individuals, awareness, support. Four represents support. The Emperor card represents support and strategy to rebuild with the Emperor's wisdom. Right experience, thought controlled, and clear actions and support, right? So rebuild after this tarot or this tower is gone. We don't need that shit no more, right? It was false. This helps you move and make a decision. Now you're thinking about a process that you were holding yourself away from, right? You're like, back off. I don't want to make a choice right now because, hey, all choices look ridiculous, didn't they? All choices seemed just ridiculous. So you put yourself in timeout to think about this situation. And now you're starting to see, once you begin, now let me say something. Just because you hear something doesn't mean that it changes your mind completely, right? But from the process of rebuilding, you build trust amongst those in your life and trust in what you're building is secure, it's gonna last, right? So it's starting to show progress as you work on rebuilding. This progress comes with the mini empress and the empress. Value and appreciation, good with your finances, keeping a home rather than rushing and spending your needs on everything that is false, right? False, only meant to keep you wasting your time. Now you're actually putting your plans to a purpose, something so you can live in. You're structuring a new life on solid grounds with value and depth and appreciation. Plenty to eat, plenty to grow. Lots of nurture, lots of love and understanding in this connection. Connection to the universe, and awareness of the stars and the planets in the sky. Luxury grows because your land is ever abundant. There's plenty to eat, plenty to go around. The energy of not having to suffer. Because this awareness has destroyed the false, brought in the light, allowed you to connect with people who you can connect with, and let the fear spreaders run off in the distance. They're no longer needed. Thank you. Goodbye. With this, passion comes in very fast. You release other people's bullshit, you put it down, and Emperor, Empress. Leadership and support from wisdom and experience, nurture and abundance, complete love, in harmony, divine masculine, divine feminine qualities. So, by shedding the false narrative that it's your responsibility to fix people in your lives that are challenging and always displaying behavioral, emotional, mental, traumatic conflict, allow them to seek proper help and rid yourself from the perpetual need to run and fix something. What does that say about you? Let's put it like this. When I was running to try to fix everybody, it's because I was putting off fixing myself. Made me feel better to think that I could repair someone who's damaged, right? But it didn't make me feel better because eventually I couldn't go anywhere without being hit with wave after wave of challenged people, and I put myself there. So all it did was mirror back all the shit I needed to deal with myself. So now that you understand this, you understand that you may possibly need to get some help. Go study something new, maybe, A lot of the times, people who display negative, challenging behaviors really are just bored in their life and they need something to learn. With learning comes the sense of accomplishment, a sense of, what's that word? Confidence, enlightenment, awareness. So, instead of running to try to fix everybody, maybe try to educate yourself on something new. You're probably at a stagnant point in your life where life is repetitive and redundant and over, Groundhog's Day, right? Same old thing. Introduce something that can stimulate your mind and break out of this stagnancy. You have a lot going for you in life. A lot of support, a lot of care, value, depth, and appreciation. Rebuild on those standards. I know that my words aren't going to be the tipping point in your choice to change, but once you get things moving and you see the lightness and swiftness in your energy, once you let go of everyone else's drama, enjoy your weekend.